In the absence of a vaccine, the COVID-19 impact on the behaviours and actions of people will be far-reaching and varied. The abilities and desires of countries to quarantine and protect their people will also vary. These things will determine the short-term and long-term consequences by degree on business operations. Key focus is on employee hygiene and remote operations to ensure business continuity. Can key managers step up if needed? Can staff morale and values be maintained in a remote working environment? Weak links in the supply and distribution chain will need to be identified, strengthened and supported with backup plans. This includes the supply of information and communication technologies. Ultimately, the business model will need reviewing along with project evaluation parameters. Reliable and timely information will be critical.
Businesses need to monitor macroeconomic quantitative data that is regularly updated in worldometers.info to see countrywide perspective about daily number of active cases, the number of recovered patients, the number of daily deaths, etc. Then the information from the local and national health departments will give you information relevant to lockdown, restrictions, ease down measures incorporated, and so on. For instance, the government of the United Arab Emirates issues a notice stating that residents stuck abroad can be repatriated starting from July 7, 2020. In another example, a primary health center in Mumbai will give you if the area near the international airport is a hotspot for COVID-19 positive cases or not. World Health Organization issues press releases about important events associated with the COVID-19 regarding vaccine development, repeated cases on individuals, second wave of an epidemic if it's happening or not, and so on. Qualitative data from the businesses, local staff across departments, its partners and other stakeholders in respective countries wherever the business is located in can also give insights on the ground realities relevant to overall economic sentiments, people's willingness to go out and spend on purchases even after ease downs, and so on. So the data derived from previously mentioned sources can help firms with insight-driven decision making. For instance, if there is a possible delay for sourcing raw material from a place with severe COVID-19 impacts, other areas to source raw materials can be planned. And even the C-suites can use these data to take long-term decisions, especially using data analytics to interpret sophisticated data. For instance, the flattening of the COVID-19 epidemic curve can be projected to know by approximately when business operations in that place can be normalized. And decision making based on facts rather than intuition or gut feeling, especially during these times, can take the firm a long way. For example, data on shipping from the local mercantile department will show if there would be uncontrollable delays in receiving a shipment via sea. And human resource management decisions, for example, they can put a cap of 10 people to attend a physical meeting, and larger gatherings should be encouraged to be conducted virtually. And wherever possible, companies should seek to update medical records of all staff and identify and plan outcomes for high-risk staff members, including those with key pre-existing conditions.
Short-term mitigation should focus on people and process, timing office visits and departures to avoid crowding, restricting inter-office mobility, having backup support across locations and borders. Long-term mitigation includes redefining supply chains and removing manual work through system integration, developing a culture of innovation and change to identify new products for existing customers or new customers for existing operations.
Talking about the perks of remote working, one of them is the flexibility for employees to work from the comfort of their own homes. Also, not having daily office commutes can be a great time and money saver for them as they don't need to spend on gas or public transport. This also adds to the reduction of carbon footprint on the environment. In addition, having more self-time helps improve work balance and increases the quality of life, leading to happier employees. Additionally, overheads for office spaces like the use of electricity, water, office supplies will not be required. Even the office space could be reduced, having part of the rental eliminated. Also, remote working can help transnational companies hire the most qualified people around the world, no matter where they are. Some of the downsides of remote working are that usually the office has vitality and liveliness, which contributes to enhanced creativity from employees. Also, working from home means that work team has to be done remotely. It sometimes can affect the interactivity between colleagues, which leads to a lack of assertive communication. Also, based on the nature of business, not every industry or sector is able to work from home. Some sectors, like the retail or healthcare, are in the customer facing roles, cannot do it. Cybercrimes are on the rise as more and more people are working remotely, and there's more exposure to malicious emails and scammings. So, individuals as businesses have to look out for some ransomware, malware, or phishing attacks, to mention some.
In April 2020, WHO has reported a five-fold increase in cyber attacks, and the need for critical data and information of companies to be highly secured is more than ever now. Investments need to be made in dedicated firewalls, end-to-end encryption, and all the cloud servers have to be protected now. Cross-functional coordination between departments is critical to improve cohesion and to fight these attacks. And even employees of organizations have to be made aware of the types of cyber attacks like the phishing and malware, and action to be done immediately on suspicion of such attacks.